Hello members of YTARC and ProHateDebate, here's Evolve Love. I'm sorry if you have trouble understanding me at times, because English is not my mother tongue. I'll try my best though. I decided to join the debate not as a direct member of any movement or in fact as a person due to the high level of hatred and misunderstanding on both sides. My mission here is to seek truth, and I think this can be best achieved by neutrally reviewing and mediating. To do this, we need to leave ideologies, religion and beliefs at the door. As you well know, love can make you blind, as members of ProHateDebate would say about members of YTARC who they think are ignoring proof, while hate, some members of YTARC would argue, makes members of ProHateDebate equally blind for reason. Looking for truth, the only acceptable proof can be the compiling of evidence to draw a somewhat accurate picture of reality at hand, known as the scientific method, science. I'll have to make this at least a two-parter, because there's much ground to cover. Therefore, I won't be able to keep the time for much of the debate, but of course all of this is open for discussion. Let's dive in with the hard facts, which cannot be biased by statistics or social influences, so mainly genetics and evolution. Now, RV in number 26, you asked us to show you an atom. Well, this is a graphic based on the measurement of local electron density, which pretty closely resembles a picture of an atom, or many of them. These are made by a scanning tunneling microscope, or STM, which can also be used to move individual atoms. Pretty cool, huh? The first link you gave to prove that there are 5 genetically distinct races. Well, let's say you seem to have read it selective. For the scenario in this article to work, which it does, you have to take circumstances in consideration which Joe hinted, though not loudly enough pointed out. Evidence supports that about 70,000 years ago, a supervolcano in Toba, Indonesia, erupted with a force of about 3,000 times that of Mount St. Helens. This led to a drop in temperatures and eventually an ice age, which led to the creation of so-called population bottlenecks. Long story short, most hominid and early human species died out, except for a group of maybe 1 to 10,000, which were the ancestors of all humans who live today. Some of them left Africa due to drought by the Ice Age, and began to prosper very quickly elsewhere, seeding a small population that grew till they reached today's tall. On the way, their DNA picked up traces. These traces, or markers, are small spelling mistakes in the DNA. Mutations, but mostly in areas of non-coding or junk DNA that has no influence on the all-over genetic makeup and can in no way be responsible for the formation of certain adaptive traits. As each geographic isolated group filled their habitat, they adapted to the climate and shared those markers, which can now be seen as common to the geographically isolated population. If you think this through, it couldn't have been any other way. One can also use markers in the Y chromosome and the mitochondrial DNA, which are passed out without being changed, to follow the migration patterns of our early ancestors. I'll include links to the more lengthy documentation, The Journey of Man, which Joe already linked to, as well as an episode of the infotainment show The Eyes of Nye, which is not as accurate but short. Thanks to Emily PM for posting these. I also recommend Richard Dawkins' The Ancestor's Tale, in which he has about a chapter on this. The important thing is that maybe 5,000 generations ago, mankind had only a couple of thousand forefathers, makes our species, genetically speaking, extremely uniform. This is supported by modern comparative studies of the coding genome. We are in fact so uniform that a family band of 55 African chimpanzees inherits about twice the genetic diversity as all 6 billion plus humans to each other. We are one family in a very true sense. This also means that in each geographic population or race, you find about 93 to 95% of all diversity the human genome has, meaning that should 1 or 2 so-called races vanish, it would not make any difference, because all their genes, all their diversity, or lack thereof, can be found in any of the races, in you, in me, because we all share about 99.99% of our DNA. There's not much room for great changes in brain or fundamental behavior, nor for theories of multi-regional origin and the crossing with earlier hominid species, or the influence of time travelers or aliens. Note that our generation is the first to have this amount and quality of genetic evidence, which is solid, draws a nearly complete picture and cannot be too far misread by anyone who understands the matter. Earlier theories were largely guesswork due to the incomplete fossil records, which allowed too much personal or ideological motivated interpretation. Anyone could go out there and resample all these people, and given nothing is biased, would reach the same conclusions. In the next part, I will look at some possible reasons for the observable differences between the formerly known races. Stay tuned, discuss, comment, and goodbye.